Welcome back, everybody. All right, between taking care of your family and saving for your retirement, have you figured out your strategy for taking care of a disabled child if something happens to you? Bruce Porter is here now from the Resource Center to talk about that very thing. Bruce, good to see you.
Good to see you as always.
Good to see you guys.
Now, if you have a disabled family member, this is something that you need to do now.
Well, it could be in a child or a young adult. You know, it's a need that has, we've been more aware of this since we've started these estate planning workshops. We've noticed that a lot of folks that have come have situations that need some additional planning in order to protect the person and the benefits they're receiving, public assistance, SSI, Medicaid, things like that, that they've already went through all the trouble to get them on, and now you want to make sure that you can keep them on those benefits. And so how do you do that? Well, there's a technique that with legal documents that you use special needs trust planning. And you know, that protects the eligibility of the person that is receiving benefits. And that's what this type of planning is all about.
Now, do you have someone that acts as I don't know, a go-between, a representative, something like that in cases where someone may not be able to handle these kind of financial things?
So special needs trusts are irrevocable. So that means you're going to be naming a trustee. Now that could be an individual or that you trust. That's the whole idea. Or it can be an institution. So the fiduciary responsibility of the trustee, they can't take all your money and go buy a new Corvette.
Right. That's not how, yeah. And that's what you want to not happen.
Right.
You know.
Now that trustee can be compensated. So institutional trustees usually are. No one works for free. But a family member that you want to name as the trustee, because these situations are long-term. That, you know, a handicapped child that is, you know, 15 or 20 years old when mom and dad pass, there's a long commitment for a trustee to take care of the assets that are left to that child in a trust for their benefit. So it's a commitment that the trustee makes, a fiduciary responsibility.
Now, what about if I die, I still have bills that need to be paid? Is this going to affect that, you know, fiduciary relationship at all?
Well, it can be. I mean, when mom and dad, let's use mom and dad and an adult child.
Okay.
So disabled. So when mom and dad pass away, there's going to be final expenses, things that have to be taken care of. That the trustee of their trust may be taking care of that. But the beneficiary of the bulk of their assets will go from their trust to a specific special needs trust for that adult child. And the trustee of that, which may or may not be the same person, would be the person responsible for managing those assets for the benefit of the beneficiary for the rest of their lives, potentially.
Now, if you don't do this, I think people mean well, and they think, well, you know, my sister will care for my son if something happens to me. Well, what if something happens to you and the sister?
Don't assume anything.
So this can really end badly if you're not careful.
Well, we hear that all the time. We hear that with long-term care planning. We hear that with trust planning. Well, my family will take care of me. It's kind of an irresponsible approach. I mean, if you were my sister and you were my brother, and I had a special needs situation with a child, it would not be fair to expect you to step up and raise my child the rest of their life without compensation or a plan. And we've talked about planning a lot. Planning is crucial. You may be willing to do that, and I may be willing to let you do that, but I want you to be compensated. And I want you to have specific plans in place so you don't have to make decisions or figure it out. And so planning is crucial. It's vital when you have a special needs situation. So I would just tell everybody, the basics are you come to our workshop, You get the basics of estate planning, and then we can dive in to your specific family
All right.
situation.
Go see Bruce Porter at the Resource Center. He'll help you figure it out, and you can visit resourcecenterinc.com or call him at 882-1800. Good to see you, Bruce. Thank you.
See you
Thanks,
next
Bruce.
week.
Oh, yeah.
Right.